We are following some breaking news. I want you to take a good look at your screen. Moments ago, we did share this with you, learning the very latest from Israel Defense Forces. They post this on X. They do say sirens were sounding nationwide as Iran launched another missile attack. Well, we're getting a live look this hour at the aftermath of that missile attack. Take a good look at your screen. We are learning, this is a live look, the aftermath of the site where the Iranian hit moments ago on this Monday, a live look from southern Israel. A lot to dissect, so I want to bring into the conversation none other than the former deputy mayor of Jerusalem, Fleur Hassan Nahum. Fleur, always a pleasure having you join us here on Live Now from Fox. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Francine.
So I actually do want to show that live look again of the site, just so people can see the aftermath and understand everything that's going on. Set the scene, because we were hearing that sirens could be heard early this morning across Israel, per Israel Defense Forces. Very scary. You could be in the middle of your day, then just have to run to seek shelter. Set that scene for us, please.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, let's start with 3 a.m. this morning, when we've all been woken up in the middle of the night now for a few weeks, and almost over a year by the Houthis and their rockets. But this morning we were all woken up at 3 a.m. There was one ballistic missile thrown, and then about an hour ago, another barrage of missiles. People have been spent hours in shelters. Imagine kids, parents, grandparents. And it seems like the casualties this time are far less than we've seen in the last few days, but they're doing a lot of damage to the country. Ballistic missiles have over 1,000-pound warheads. Imagine, these are like bombs flying into civilian concentrated areas in Israel. And that's what we're all going through. And that's why the country is in an emergency status right now. Kids are not in school. People are not opening businesses that are not essential. So a supermarket is essential, but a hair salon is not essential. So that's how we're living right now these days in Israel.
Well, always great when we can get the context so you can provide and break it down what that everyday life looks like. And for many of the viewers, they want to know, how are Israelis carrying on? We can't forget hostages still in Hamas captivity as we are further looking at the conflict with Iran. Israelis say they are holding on to hope, but still demanding more from the government.
Well, you know, we are a very robust democracy, so people always demand from the government. But what you're seeing actually at the moment in Israel, apart from the regular resilience of people, but you are seeing a lot of support for the government from right and from left. You are seeing across the board support for the government eliminating the threat of the destruction of Israel. This is an existential threat for us. The destruction of Israel in the hands of genocidal apocalyptic Islamists who keep saying they want to kill Israel, they want to kill America. This is what they say. This is what's in their school books. This is what's in their media. This is their plan. And for these people to have a weapon of mass destruction, like a nuclear weapon, is a disaster, not just for Israel, for the world. And we're very, very pleased that President Trump and his administration have understood that the threat is of a third world war. And so what the Americans have done by joining forces with us is not create the conditions for a third world war, it's prevent a third world war by stopping this toxic regime that has held its own people hostage for 46 years and eliminate that threat, which is a threat to the entire free world.
Well, at this time, we are getting another news alert. I want to transition the screen, also update that lower. This just in from the Associated Press. They say breaking: the gate of Iran's notorious Evin prison in Tehran is hit in a suspected Israeli strike. This coming from Iranian state television. They go on to say, quote, Evin prison is known for holding dual nationals and Westerners, often used by Iran as bargaining chips in negotiations with the West. This is a very big deal. Fleur, break this down, contextualize. This almost seems historic.
Absolutely. You're 100% right, Francine, because the IRGC have just spent so many years terrorizing people, terrorizing opposition voices, incarcerating them, murdering them, torturing them. If Israel, with what we're doing right now, can help liberate those political leaders that were incarcerated for going against this very toxic regime, this could be the beginning of the end. This could be the revolution that everybody's been waiting for by the Iranians. When all your leaders are locked up, it's very difficult to rebel against the current toxic Islamist government. But this could be the beginning of the end for the IRGC. News has just come in here, Francine, that Israel has also bombarded the headquarters of the IRGC. This is like getting rid of the Gestapo in Germany. It's historic, and I hope for the people of Iran, it's the beginning of their liberation.
Fleur, there are questions surrounding this, as you can imagine. What about the safety and security? Is there now a threat to Israel since that gate has been hit? Are prisoners now running free? You know, of course, a lot of unanswered questions, because we did see, if we look back on October 7th, around that first ceasefire, how in order to get some of the hostages, Hamas was demanding that some of the Palestinian prisoners become free, some of them convicted murderers, rapists, now concerned that maybe since this gate has been hit in Tehran, that some of those prisoners are now roaming free. We just want to understand and contextualize this, please.
Not at all, because the prisoners from Evin prison are political dissidents of the Islamic regime. These are artists. These are musicians. These are political leaders, academic leaders. This is the backbone of an alternative government for Iran. And so we're not talking about petty criminals, and we're not talking about any type of criminals other than regular people, leaders of different areas of life that have been incarcerated for having different opinions to the very toxic Islamist regime. So this could be the beginning of the real resistance that gets rid of the Islamic Republic, because ultimately the Iranian people have to decide their own fate, and they have to overthrow their own regime. And these people in the prison could be that alternative leadership. So it's great news.
Yeah, as you say that, a lot of people saying that possibly many Iranians are celebrating this news because they felt, for lack of better words, enslaved by their own government. Many of the women in that area saying they felt oppressed, kind of what we've been seeing with what's been happening out in Gaza by some of those, innocent Palestinian people that feel like Hamas is just taking control, taking their basic necessities of food and water. Is that what we are seeing similarly with the Iranian regime?
Yes, except that the Iranians have lost hope. 46 years they've been under this regime, and the Iranians have no illusions as to who their regime are. People in the West are saying that the Iranians are not happy about the attacks from Israel and from America, and they're wrong. They couldn't be happier. 80–90% of the Iranian people want the end of this regime that has oppressed them and has bankrupted their country, a country full of natural resources, and it's been bankrupt by this regime investing in nuclear weaponry and investing in the proxies to get rid of Israel. That's the investment of this government, of this regime, instead of investing in its own people. And so people in Iran, this is an opportunity for them to go up and get rid of this very toxic regime. They couldn't be happier, and they see Israel and America as their saviors. People should understand that. The only people who are with the regime, the Islamic Republic of Iran, are the people employed by the regime. They are the IRGC, they are their army, they're their police force, they're the government workers. Those are the only people who want to keep this regime. Everybody else in Iran, 90 million people, want them gone. And this is the beginning.
As you mentioned, this is just the beginning. How long do you think it will take for Iran to get some sense of democracy with all of this going on? I know that's kind of a loaded question, as it's been several years of oppression.
46 years of oppression. The Iranian people are people who can rule themselves. They're educated people, they're liberal-minded people. And it might take a while, but there's alternative interim governments that could be put into place. The main thing is that this regime should be gone. It has oppressed, it has murdered its own people. Thousands and thousands of people, they've crushed any type of opposition. And the Iranian people deserve better. We are liberating the Iranian people as well as eliminating the threat to the existence of the State of Israel, but also to the existence of the free world.
Fleur Hassan, always a pleasure having you join us here. We appreciate your expertise and perspective on all things going on in the Middle East. Is there anything else you'd like to add? I know we tried to hit those top stories, but again, we appreciate the day-to-day that you can share that the everyday person might not be aware of.
We're in a historic moment here. And if in the 1930s, the world would have taken the threat of Hitler seriously, we wouldn't have had all the death and destruction that came with the Second World War. We are now doing the same. Because of what America and Israel are doing, we will actually prevent a third world war, and history will judge us very favorably. We're on the right side of this, and everybody should know that.
Fleur, thank you so much. Praying for you and other Israelis in the area. Of course, you have a safe and great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.